There are 3 levels of trust that once understood, it will forever change the way you raise capital. Most operators believe investors hesitate because they need more information, or better returns, or just more time. And that's usually not the issue. What's missing is one of 3 distinct levels of trust. And even if one layer is weak, capital slows down even when the deal is solid. Early on in my capital raising process, I remember being confused. I had strong relationships, investors liked me, conversations were positive, but when it came to actually commit, that's when things stalled. And what I eventually realized was this: I was treating trust like it existed or it didn't. But in reality, trust has layers, and if one layer is underdeveloped, the entire structure feels unstable to the investor. Once I understood that, everything changed. Now look, the first level of trust is observed trust. Observed trust is what investors conclude before they ever speak to you. It's visual, it's structural, it's environmental. It answers a silent question: does this person appear professional and consistent? Here are a few things you can do to build observed trust. Standardize your digital presence. You can do this with website clarity and consistent messaging and clear positioning, and this should flow naturally into anything you promote or share on your social media as well. I was just on a podcast with a friend of ours and a user the other day, and he talked about how somebody went to his website, saw that they did a lot of land deals, and elected not to invest into their multifamily because it looked like that's not what they specialized in, and that wasn't the truth at all, but that's what was observed. Another thing that builds observed trust is consistent, structured investor updates. Keep them in a predictable format with a professional tone and a clean layout. Also, have a visible process for what someone could expect if they decide to work with you. This could be clear next steps, defined onboarding, or documented FAQs. Observed trust reduces initial uncertainty. Without it, investors feel subtle friction even if they can't articulate why. Now, observed trust is the longest path to capital commitments, but when executed properly, these people are solid once they decide to work with you. The next level of trust is earned trust. Earned trust is built through interaction or engagement over time. This is where most operators spend a lot of their time with the wrong people. If you don't have a strong system building observed trust, trying to continually feed this level will quickly feel like a chore. You know a lead is at this level of trust when you experience consistent follow-up that is reciprocated over a period of time. You're providing direct answers to hard questions. You experience calm handling of objections, and you're not scrambling before deadlines. This is the level of trust where pitches start to feel more like invitations. Here are a few ways to supercharge earned trust. Track conversation history. This allows you to reference prior discussions. And avoid pitch first behavior. Don't lead with the deal, lead with alignment. Follow up when you said you would. This establishes consistency and reliability. And when investors feel remembered, not sold, earned trust compounds. Now, the quickest way to capital and the third level of trust is associated trust. Think of associated trust as borrowed confidence. It comes from who you're already aligned with, what systems you use, and your professional infrastructure. Example, your team, tools, reporting, etc. Associated trust is social proof without hype. When leads are at this level of trust, they're asking themselves, is this operator playing at the level that I expect? Here are a few ways you can build associated trust. Use institutional grade reporting. There are a handful of incredible investor management softwares available that will help you streamline this. Don't skimp in this area. Reference strategic partners appropriately. Appear structured, not improvised. Associated trust accelerates decision confidence. If there's one thing I want you to walk away from this video, it's this. One level of trust won't attract the amount of capital you're looking for. You need them all working together. You can have strong earned trust and still lose capital. If your observed trust is weak, your website outdated, messaging unclear, investors hesitate. If associated trust is missing, no infrastructure, no visible process, no social proof, they question credibility. Most operators double down on relationships, but relationships without structure become fragile at scale, and that's where momentum breaks. Trust is not only emotional, it's structural. Investors rarely decide in one moment. They reduce uncertainty gradually. Observed trust reduces early stage friction. Earned trust builds relational confidence, and associated trust validates long-term stability. If any layer is inconsistent, uncertainty rises. And here's the deeper truth. Your brain is not a CRM. Manual follow-up creates invisible gaps. Duct tape systems erode trust quietly. Trust doesn't break loudly. It erodes slowly through inconsistency. At scale, engineered consistency becomes necessary, not because relationships don't matter, but because systems protect them. At a certain level, effort stops being the constraint, and the infrastructure you currently have in place becomes that constraint. If this framework resonates, the next question isn't, how do I try harder? It's, where are my trust layers inconsistent? If you want to see how this looks when fully systematized, I want to invite you to a webinar we're hosting in a few days, where not only do we show how these layers play into the trust timeline, but how observed, earned, and associated trust are intentionally engineered. You can register for that webinar here. No pressure, just clarity on what predictable capital actually requires. We'll see you on the inside.